This is the story of Daniel, a 32-year-old man whose life unraveled after he began hearing something inside silence itself. At first, it was subtle, like noticing the faint hum of electricity in the walls. But soon, Daniel realized that silence wasn't empty. It had texture, layers, a strange pressure that pushed against his ears when he listened too closely. He called it resonance dissociation syndrome, a fracture of perception where silence becomes crowded, filled with impressions of things that should not exist. On the fifth night of listening, Daniel felt something shift beneath the stillness. It wasn't sound. It was a tremor, like shadows moving where no shadows should be. When he whispered, "Who's there?" the silence answered, not with words but with disturbing flashes. A child choking on soil. A hospital bed where no one is alive yet the monitors spike. A door painted shut with fingernails trapped in the wood. Daniel collapsed, realizing these were not hallucinations. They carried weight, as if silence itself could hand him memories that didn't belong to him. Soon, each room in his apartment revealed different kinds of silence. The kitchen was brittle, like glass. The bedroom leaked faint screams of people who had never lived. And in the bathroom, silence grew thick, almost liquid, carrying the stench of rot. When Daniel stared into mirrors, his reflection no longer followed perfectly. It moved just a little too late, as if it was listening to another silence altogether. His obsession deepened. At exactly 3:17 a.m., when pressing his ear to the floor, Daniel could hear conversations that hadn't happened yet. And when he wrote them down, they became real. Silence wasn't just showing him the future, it was creating it. Daniel realized the quiet was hungry. It wasn't absence. It was alive, and it was feeding on him. He called this echosepsis, a contamination where silence absorbed his thoughts and spat them back as distorted realities. One night, he thought, someone is standing behind me. And when he turned, someone was there, a blurred figure leaking out of the folds of silence. The apartment soon twisted. Walls shifted, doors led nowhere, and a staircase appeared that he had never built, spiraling into pure darkness. When Daniel pressed his ear to it, silence didn't have texture anymore. It had teeth. In his final journal entry, Daniel confessed, "Silence is not absence, it is a parasite. I thought I was listening to it, but it was listening to me. I don't know if I'm Daniel anymore or just another echo it shaped into a man." Weeks later, the police broke into his apartment. It was empty. Only his journal remained. The last line wasn't written in Daniel's handwriting. It said, "Do not read this out loud." And when the officer read it, the silence in the room shifted, thickened, and began to breathe.